Hey folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, September 4th. The Pittsburgh Steelers practice today on the south side. I'll be there with all the coverage for SteelersNow.com. But today we're not going to talk about the Steelers the season opener against the Atlanta Falcons, which is now just a few days away. We're not going to talk about everything that Mike Tomlin said at his press conference yesterday, the first one of the 2024 season. We're going to talk about Cam Heyward and his contract because people are losing their friggin' minds over this, which is a great deal for the Steelers, and I do not understand. Cam Heyward signed a 2-year contract extension, which is basically a new 3-year deal worth a total of $45 million on Tuesday. And I don't understand why, but Steelers fans have just decided they hate this idea. I don't get it. This is perhaps the most team-friendly deal I have ever seen a Steelers player sign in the time I've been with the team. The Steelers gave nothing in new money that is guaranteed to Cam Heyward. The only thing they guaranteed is the 2024 salary that they were absolutely 100% going to pay him anyway. This is basically just a series of 1-year team options. The Steelers can decide after this year if they want to pay Cam Heyward in 2025 or not. And if the answer is not, they walk away from the deal owing nothing more than they were going to pay Cam Heyward this year anyway. And if they pay him in 2025 and decide they don't want to pay him in 2026, they can walk away from the deal, owing him nothing more than they were going to pay him this season anyway. And the deal saves $9.8 million under this year's salary cap so that the Steelers can go extend another player, which they're probably going to do. It's there tomorrow, and my guess would be that'll be Pat Freiermuth, maybe more. I mean, I don't think a Pat Freiermuth extension is going to take $10 million to add to this year's salary cap. Might be able to get a couple done with that money. I don't understand this. I don't understand the entire negative about Cam Heyward. The negative narrative. Cam Heyward is an all-time great Steeler. He's the second best Steelers defensive lineman in team history. He's an absolutely great human being. Just won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Been voted by his teammates as a captain 10 years in a row. So, what is there not to like about Cam Heyward, the person? And then if you want to try to say, okay, well, this is just brass tacks, this is just dollars and cents, you can't have any emotion here, you can't have any feeling, it's a great deal financially too. There is absolutely zero risk to this for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All they're saying is, you say how much you think you're worth, and then as we go, we'll decide if you are or you aren't. I mean, I don't know, maybe they could get into a situation where Hayward's just okay, but maybe not quite worth the $14.5 million. Then you just renegotiate the total down the road if you think you want to keep him. There's nothing holding the Steelers to this contract if they don't want it to beyond 2024. And let's not pretend like the Steelers don't need Cam Heyward. Look at the rest of their defensive line. Larry Ogunjobi, a 5 years younger player, is far more injury prone than Cam Heyward is. Neither of them are long-term pieces here, but certainly Heyward looks like the better short-term piece. Keanu Benton's one. They have nothing else in terms of proven depth or highly drafted young players on this defensive line that seem like they're going to be a part of a future starting rotation. The Steelers also have a huge laundry list of needs going forward into the 2025 offseason. They still, as we've talked about ad nauseum, need another wide receiver to go alongside George Pickens. If they don't extend Pat Freiermuth, they're going to need a tight end. If they don't extend Najee Harris, they're going to need a running back. If they don't extend Dante Jackson, they're going to need a cornerback. You can't do all that in one offseason. You have to take care of some of those things ahead of time. If this move lets the Steelers keep Freiermuth and keep Heyward under contract for 2025, that's a good thing. And if Hayward turns out not to be worth it, and all it does is get them Freiermuth under contract and they cut Hayward after this season, that's still a good thing. There's absolutely no way this can go poorly for the Steelers. I do not understand any of the anxiety about this deal. And Cam Heyward was not bad last year. He, at 34 years old, came back and played early through a major surgery that probably should have kept him out several weeks more than it did, came back early at far less than 100%, and was still one of the better defensive players on the team. His approximate value by Pro Football Reference was 14th on the team last year. 14th out of 22 starters, out of 53 guys. He only played in 11 games, and he was 14th. He's a great run stopper. Yeah, he didn't have the pass rush that he had in the past. Even if he just comes back and is a great run stopper, he's probably worth at least the next year of this deal. Like, I don't understand any of this. It doesn't make any sense to me why you would not want a guy like Cam Heyward around, why you would not want the team to sign an essentially risk-free deal to keep him around. It just boggles my mind. It's like people, I don't know. I don't understand where this negativity towards Cam Heyward came from. I think maybe you could make a good argument that he shouldn't have come back last year, that people saw him play hurt last year and somehow that soured them on him, when really it should have been the exact opposite. Here's, a friggin' hero who's pushing through injury to do what he can because the team needs him. And instead, I don't know, people just want to crap on the guy. I don't get it. And people want to bring up his age. Like, yeah, is 35 old for a football player? Absolutely. But there are lots of defensive linemen that played into their late 30s. It is not unprecedented for defensive linemen to play at a high level well into their 30s. Calais Campbell just signed on for another year. He's 38. Like, this contract won't even get Hayward to that point. This will be years 35, 36, 37. And Hayward has always been a better player than Calais Campbell. So I don't really understand this. This is a good deal for the Steelers. It's not a good deal for Cam Heyward, in my opinion, but I mean, he wants to be here. And I think he made that clear. He made that clear by coming back to OTAs and reporting. He made that clear with this contract. This is a team-friendly deal. This is a good deal for the Steelers. I just I don't understand how anyone could have anything negative to say about it at all. Really. I mean, I just don't. The Steelers can go out and draft Cam Heyward's replacement next offseason. They probably should. I would make defensive tackle the number one priority for this team next year. And if they do, and that player turns out to be better, then you just cut Cam and you walk away. And, I had some people saying to me, oh, they will never cut him. This is a team who forced Troy Polamalu to retire. The heck they won't. If it's time, they'll tell you it's time. They're not going to be afraid to tell anybody, including Cam Heyward, it's time. He's certainly not the player that Polamalu was. And there was nothing wrong with that decision then. There would be nothing wrong with that decision if they made it. Cam Heyward's still a very good part of this defense. I don't understand any of this. It's like the world has lost its mind. So hopefully you all understand where I'm coming from with this. If you have any questions, leave them. I'll try to hit them later when I'm back on with Zachary Smith in the afternoon drive. We're also going to talk about maybe, I don't know, the game coming up. But there's also probably going to be some more contract news. So maybe we'll have some more news break during that. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss an episode of the Morning Rush, the afternoon drive. I'll be back with you after practice along with Smitty. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.